Court calls Dylan Howie Sawinski versus Madison Brockwell and Curtis Edwards, case number 251584LT. Ms. Brockwell joins us, as is Ms. Sawinski. We are here for our second hearing, I believe. And I have received, or the court has received, proof of rental assistance application dated November 4th from NMCAA. Ms. Brockwell, have you had any response to that yet?
So I just talked to them today. That's more for like relocating.
Okay.
So we talked today. I'm waiting. He's waiting for his ID because they need his DOD papers or whatever you call them. Sorry. To finish the assessment on the. That's where I'm at.
When you say DOD, is
Like his discharge papers.
okay. Make some notes here. Do they give you any indication as to how long that will be?
I'm just waiting for his ID and then it should be pretty quick. It says that it sends it to his email as soon as he has it.
So,
Files for it.
Ms. Sawinski, let me ask you, how do you wish to proceed today?
I would like to pursue the 10-day. So if indeed this does happen, that should give enough time. Also, I did talk to Kayla Knox, not today, but last week. So if they can help, they'll be able to once they get that documentation to them. And if they can't, then they can't.
All right. So Ms. Sawinski, how much are you claiming is owing right now?
So the 10,785, and that includes through October 16th rent. November 16th rent's not due yet. I've got the $81 filing fee, $84.30 servicing fee.
I'm sorry, how, 84.30?
Yes.
Okay.
So a total of $10,950.30.
Ms. Brockwell, do you agree that you owe that amount?
I agree that I owe that amount. And I was sitting on my car trying to figure out what I was going to say here.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm accepting the fact that the eviction is going to happen. But I was going to ask, and I understand it's a lot to ask, but if there was any data sorry, I'm trying to speak.
Okay.
If there's any chance that I could get a 30-day eviction because I have small kids, and that would land me in December, and that would make it easier to get my family, possibly get me to help. I mean, let me stay with them during Christmas. And if not, I completely understand. But I have been there for 7 years. And 5 out of those 7 years, I was on time or early, all on my own.
So, I just want to make sure, Ms. Sawinski, you're not asking for the money judgment, right? You're just okay.
Correct.
So, Ms. Sawinski, Ms. Brockwell, we'll do this in steps because I want to make sure I'm covering my bases here first. And I understand what you're saying. But, so I asked you if you agreed with the amounts owed, and it sounds like you do. So my question to you is do you want to enter into a consent judgment, which means that you agree that the amount owing between late rent, fees and costs is $19,950.30. I'm sorry, $10,000.
Yeah, okay.
$10,950.30. Or do you wish for Ms. Sawinski to prove that to me?
I mean, I want to say yes, but there's so many things that have happened in between those times that if I could say out loud, I know they wouldn't make a huge difference, but you would also see that the communication line, that like it wasn't completely just on me. And I'm sorry to say it that way, but I don't know how else to say it because I'm sitting here feeling like I let her down, but in many ways, it was also a two-way street, and that's kind of why it went down the way I went down, because I didn't know what was going on.
So I don't want to force you into a consent judgment. So what I'll do is I'll take some testimony from Ms. Swinsky and she can establish the case. Now, I want you to also understand that because Mr. Edwards does not appear today, he gets a default judgment. So no matter what, a judgment is going to enter against him because he's not here today.
Okay.
All right. So Ms. Swinsky, will you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. And to help speed things along here, I'll ask some questions of you. Can you tell me the address that is the subject of this dispute?
309 and a half East River Street, Cadillac, Michigan, 49601.
Who is that property owned by?
Dylan Sawinski and Holly Sawinski.
All right. And is Dylan aware of the actions that's being taken?
Yes,
And is he in agreement with them?
yes,
Now, at some point, was there a rental agreement entered into with Curtis Edwards and Madison Brockwell?
yes. Well, about 7 years ago.
All right. Is that a written agreement or a verbal agreement?
Yes, I haven't
All right.
located that. Do you have a copy?
Somewhere in my house, not on me.
So how much, so you're claiming, based on what we said before we started taking testimony, that there's $10,785 owing in rent and I assume late fees as well?
I didn't even include late fees at this point.
So this is all rent.
All rent.
All right. And what amounts and what months make up that rent?
I believe I attached that to. You have a copy of the.
I got some handwritten
Yeah, I did.
notes.
Printouts from the Venmo that we did back and forth. And,
Cash out.
yeah, or sorry, Cash App. And then I believe the last actual payment in the Cash App was,
It was around March because.
Hold on.
Okay, I'm sorry, I was
No.
gonna,
No, I understand, but there's a process we have to go through.
I
So I'll ask her questions and you'll get the opportunity to ask her questions and then you can tell me what you want me to know.
yes, sir.
so the handwritten was based on the printouts from the Cash App. So I believe the last payment amount was like 149 on August 21st. If you look at the handwritten, all those minus numbers and the dates
Mhm.
coincide with the Cash App printouts on when they came through. So it was difficult for me to kind of keep track of like what months had partials but what I do know is that, I mean, there was 0 payments made starting March. Yeah, or September. So September, 0 payments, right on through March, April, May. July,
So,
August, September. I mean, it got basically kind of everybody gave up on trying, and I've been paying the utilities right along, trying to hope something would happen or she could get some help, and it just, we're out of control at this point, so.
and it looks like, at least according to the handwritten notes that were submitted with the complaint, she was paid in full through December 31st of 23. Is that correct?
Yeah, yes.
And
Correct.
then-
So I basically just started from January 1st, 2024, and then gave her credits for every time she made a payment.
And it looks like the monthly rental rate is $750.
Yes.
All right. And then that, based on that handwritten ledger. Now, let me ask you, when was this handwritten ledger created?
Oh, probably the first time I filed and then did not make the time.
Okay.
Start over.
Yeah, I remember that.
So 3 months ago.
And
Ish.
they're based off of either Venmo or Cash App, correct?
And I'm 99% sure there was never any other payments made outside of the Cash App. Are you correct on that? Did you send me a check or a money order? or
Hold on,
cash?
well, Ms. Swinsky, she'll have the opportunity to
Got it.
address that on her side, so. All right, and then you said there was an $81 filing fee and $84.30 in service fees.
Correct, and that was for the second time. I did not add both together.
And you said you've been paying the utilities, but you're not adding that into what's being requested.
No, because in the written lease from way back, utilities were included in that rent. So
Okay.
I honored that.
All right. Fair enough. Anything else you'd like me to know?
No,
Now, I'm just asking because it was brought up, what's your position on allowing her a longer period of time than the 10 days by statute?
I mean, it's been close to 2 years worth of paying her utilities for her and her family. And we talked several months ago when I first started this, before I filed the first time. It's time.
Okay, all right. Ms. Brockwell, now you have the opportunity to ask Ms. Sawinski some questions. So, and I want to make sure we do this in an orderly way. So you can ask her questions, but you can't testify. So do you have any questions you want to ask her now?
You said I haven't paid you anything since 2023?
No. You've been behind since 2023. So you were on time up until 2023, and then I'm showing you made, payments in January, you made payments February, blah, blah, blah. You were behind $50 in February, you were on time in March, you were behind another 150 in April, which brought you to 200, you were behind 50 in May, brought you to 250, and it just kind of escalated throughout that 2003 really, and then 2024, really and now we're to the point where you stopped completely.
Okay, so I just want to make it clear that I did send a February payment of $300, did I not?
Yes, you did, and I did include, for sure, but yes, you've made random payments throughout each month. So yes, April 4th, or I'm sorry, May 4th is the month. For April 2nd, you did a 350. April 15th, you did a 250, which still left you 150 behind in April.
Ms. Sawinski, why don't you show her what you're working from?
I
So
was saying that, I was just making sure, because she said 2023 earlier.
she said that was the last time you were paid in full.
Right, that's kind of where I started the calculations.
All right, so the only other question is, within that last year, did our septic explode?
It did back up, and it's not a septic, it's in the city.
It was literally all.
Well, you get to tell me that when it's your side.
So it did back up when we were out there with a snake, if you remember, it was in winter. We were out there several times. Has it backed up since that? It probably took 2 days. I'm not gonna lie, it took a minute, it was a mess. Also, you're upstairs, the guy downstairs, he got the blunt of it because it ended up in the basement. Has it backed up since then that I'm unaware of?
No. Did a foreclosure notice get put on the door? And did you ever communicate to me before you gave me a 7 days to cease that was paid for?
Okay, so Dylan is my son. I've kind of, he was your guy 7 years ago. Dylan's kind of become not very reliable. I came in legally recently. I paid all the property taxes, but I did that, what was it, 2 years ago? I'd have to look, but it's been a long time. Property taxes were paid in full. That was the notice she got in the door. It was a property tax. There's no, okay.
Hold on, we're not gonna have a back and forth,
There's
so.
not a mortgage on that property, it's paid for regular. So the foreclosure state notice was back taxes.
Okay,
And that did happen. I'd have to double check, close to 2 years ago. I have paid that in full, not been an issue since.
all right.
And I may not have given her that information as a landlord or homeowner. I didn't know if that was something I should do, but that was definitely what striked her to just stop paying completely.
Okay. Do you have any other questions? So I want to be just clear, the taxes are now paid in full. There was never a
Correct.
tax foreclosure.
No,
All right. And did you ever have any discussion with her about not paying rent because of the taxes?
No,
All right. And you had said that Dylan, it sounds like Dylan was the original landlord? Yes.
yes, correct.
And did you notify Ms. Brockwell that you were in essence coming in as well
Yes, verbally.
verbally? Do you remember when that was?
Probably 6 months?
6 months ago?
Yes.
All right. Okay, now, Ms. Brockwell, will you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you've given this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right. What is it that you would like me to know?
When the whole thing with the basement happened, it was not just a backup. It flooded through the whole basement, which I understand that I live upstairs, okay? But when your landlord calls you and tells you to periodically flush your toilet, or when you tell your landlord something's wrong with your house, and I'm not just meaning Holly, because I won't lie to you, I respect Holly. But repetitively, through the first 5 years, nothing ever got done. He never stopped in. And when I had cash instead of card, he did not want to do that. I did work with him for 5 years, and then COVID happened, and I tried to get Sahara, and he didn't want to do any of that. So literally, I did what I was supposed to do for a long time, but then those notices kept coming that the house was gonna get foreclosed on because of back taxes. And last time we sat here in court and I ended up getting help to get out of this, I told them, if this happens again, I won't pay until you tell me that those taxes were paid. Between the septum, things going wrong all the time and never getting fixed, and when I told him, and that, I just got to a point where like, I was waiting for her to communicate with me. Not only that, but like, I worked for someone in a different apartment area for her, and she called me and told me about this eviction while on his phone while I was at work. So there's just a lot of complicated things, and it makes a lot of emotional turmoil. And the communication basis between us both could have been way better. So it's not just on me, and I'm not saying I'm perfect, because I'm not even far to it. I'm sorry that it happened, but I just wanted to be clear that it wasn't just me as far as like the ups and downs of this, because I just wanted full communication and to know things were set in stone, and I never got that.
So when you found out about the foreclosure, the taxes, did you put money aside for your monthly payments? Put them in a separate account? And when the septic or the sewer backed up, how long was that backed up?
She didn't tell me. She called me the night of, told me not to flush my toilet all the time. And then I saw her again there one day, and then never didn't communicate to me again until she brought me that 7 days to cease, other than warning me about it.
So how long ago was that?
Like last November.
So a year ago?
Yeah.
All right. And did you talk to her at all about seeing if there was a discount for the rent or anything like that? For not being
Didn't think
able?
about it like that. I just
All right.
wanted to stay in my house. Like, I just assumed she'd get it fixed, but at the same time, when there's no communication, I don't know anything, and I'm sorry for that.
So what happened? I mean, you were paid in full through 23. What happened in 24 and 25?
24 and 25, my fiance worked for a small amount of time because I ended up having a baby. And then last time we were in court, I did the right, I went back to school, I got my CNA, and no matter how hard I try to get another CNA job, it just keeps kind of flopping, and now I do in-home health care.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like me to know? All right. Ms. Sawinski, do you have any questions for Ms. Brockwell?
I do not.
All right. Well, the court finds, based on the testimony today, that the defendant is behind in rent through October 16th of $10,785, filing fee of $81, and service fees of $84.30 for a total of $10,950. Additionally, I also find that the defendant has the right to retain possession of the property or recover possession of the property. Mr. Edwards, while I understand is at home taking care of the children, he has not appeared the last time we were here. He does not appear here today. So it is appropriate for a default judgment to enter against him. The court will enter a judgment that the plaintiff has the right to recover. Rent now owing is $10,785 even. Costs the amount of $165.30 for a total of $10,950.30. I understand that the defendant is requesting a longer time period, but Ms. Sawinski is right. This has gone on for 2 years. The 10 days by statute would be the 23rd of this month, so the court will give, which is a Sunday, so the court will give until the 24th to pay that amount, or a writ of eviction may enter. The defendant may be liable for money damages, including rents and other damages after moving out. Acceptance of a partial payment will not prevent the order from eviction from entering, and a no money judgment is entered at this time. Okay, parties can go out to the front window where they checked in and get a copy of that judgment.